Now, new, live, and local, and every weekday from 8 to 9 a.m. This is the show talking about what you want to know, what you need to know, and part of Woof Boom Radio's mission to use our voice to build our community. The all-new Delaware County Today, presented by Muncie Community Schools. Now on WMUN, the Talk of Muncie. Here's your host, Director of News Operations and lead morning anchor, Steve Lindell.
Good morning once again from Studio B. People are talking about our hometown hero. We will too in just a moment. Indianapolis is the epicenter of college hoops. Easter weekend weather from Paul. Muncie volleyball last night. The Ball State Cardinals info coming up. And a very special post later on this hour about Easter weekend. I'll share that with you in just a little bit. Let's share the weather first. It impacts everybody every day, especially when we have Easter egg hunts and churchy things to do or whatever your plans are. Let's get that now from WMUN meteorologist Paul Poteet.
Good morning. Picked up some more rain yesterday, but the biggest storm stayed well to the west and to the north of us. We've got a level 1 out of 5 risk of severe weather yet again today across east central Indiana. Temperatures that will be warm. Expect an afternoon high of 77. And as we head into this evening, the showers, the storms, and a low of 62. Tomorrow, not expecting severe weather, but showers and storms could produce some pretty heavy rainfall in the first part of the day. Saturday's high 72, drying out by late Saturday night, cooler low of 40. And then on Easter Sunday, we're only going to 52, partly to mostly cloudy. And we're near freezing Sunday night. Monday's high 53 with sunshine, a little below freezing Monday night. Tuesday's high just 45. Partly sunny then. Partly sunny maybe for much of next week. 61 Wednesday. Back to 70 by Thursday. There's your WMUN Muncie weather. Back to you, Steve.
Thank you much, Paul Poteet. Hourly weather updates here on WMUN and the rest of the Woof Boom Radio group. You're looking at the 3-shot right now. I don't even know if that's correct, but that's what I'm calling it. This is from Studio B, and our guests, our hometown hero of the month for April. And we are going to let them introduce themselves right now while I zoom in on the close-up of the smiling face, the leader of the Winchester group. Go ahead and introduce yourself first of all.
Okay, hello everyone. I am Jamie Michael, and I am the president of Winchester Main Street.
And we move on to the next guest.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Tarter, and I am the vice president of Winchester Main Street.
And Winchester Main Street is our hometown hero of the month for WMUN, WLBC, and the Woof Boom Radio Group. Start by, if you don't mind, telling us the overall view. What's the organization all about? What is it intended to do, and who is it trying to help and move Winchester forward?
Sure. So Winchester Main Street is an all-volunteer organization, and it is our mission to bring people to downtown Winchester. We focus on historic preservation, building and business growth, and just bringing the community together.
And bringing people together is good every day, but it's especially good. Life is stressy enough. Small town life. Why don't you speak to that? How impressive is it and how powerful is it to be able to say that you reside and for your organization to support small town USA?
We love our downtown. I think everyone who works with us and lives around Winchester loves downtown. Our organization is powered by volunteers only, and I think it speaks about the community that we all want it to grow. We all want it to flourish.
How active is your group? I mean, I see a list of some regular recurring things. Tell us about that activity level and if there's room to even grow it, or are you stock full right now of what you have planned?
We do have a full plate. We have activities going on throughout the year, and we are really enjoying what we're doing right now, but it is pretty full.
Yeah, got it. Tell us about some of those activities, some of these annual events.
So the farmers market, that's starting in May. That runs every Saturday morning. We bring fresh produce, fresh baked products to our downtown and include all kinds of activities along with those. And it's an opportunity for people to come get a lot of fresh produce.
Okay, that's the farmers market. Why don't you jump up to the July 4 one, because we love talking about that one every
great.
Independence Day. Go for it.
Yes, this is a new event. It actually is an old event that had moved and is back to downtown. We had a local community member that came to us and said, hey, we want to bring this back downtown. We want you guys to be a part of it. And we are honored. We are excited to have this come back downtown on July 4th on the 250th birthday of America. We're super excited. It's going to be kids out in the streets playing wiffle ball, chucking cheesecake, eating apple pie. I mean, talking about their moms, loving on the moms.
Yeah,
So
well, you got to do that.
yes, we're super excited to have it back downtown.
You said there's an apple pie connotation. Of course, I've heard there's a pie angle to Winchester. Had you become aware of that, ladies, by chance?
We've been there a few times.
It's a
yes.
small little business.
Wick's Pies, unbelievable, powerful, statewide and beyond organization. And the Wickersham family, I've had the good fortune of meeting Dylan years gone by, still continues to thrive in Winchester, Indiana. They're our hometown hero of the month. Let's see, we got to the July event. Let's go to fall, the October. Talk about the focal point there for Winchester, would you?
Yes. So we have Winchester Main Street Festival. A lot of the community members know it as Mardi Gras. Mardi Gras has been in place for over 49 years, and we were approached by another organization to take it over, and last year was our first year taking it over, and of course we named it the Winchester Main Street Festival. It's a street fair with rides, all the fried food you could have, including Wick's Pies, and just all kinds of family fun downtown.
What is the November focal point on the list here?
This is another great event that I think we're coming into our fourth year. We put lights on our monument, our beautiful downtown monument, and we invite hundreds of people, normally show up to light the monument. We honor our veterans. We have a local veteran speaker. We have performances by local schools that do our national anthem and sing patriotic songs and essay winners from our local elementary. It's all about the local and honoring those veterans, and just a night that it's a great night. We always enjoy it.
I'm going to jump back to veterans in a second, because I see that on the notes here about some heroes, and I bet that's what that's about. But let's stick with the chronological. Let's go to December. I know it sounds like it's forever, everybody, away, but this small town USA in Winchester doing this Christmas event. Tell us what happens at that one every year.
Yes, so Majestic Christmas. Christmas, I think, comes faster than we always expected.
Always does.
But Santa comes. We have a lighted parade. We have shopping. Businesses are open, and we, serve hot chocolate and have all kinds of fun downtown celebrating Christmas.
All right, so that's just some of the thumbnail of what is planned over the course of a typical year in Winchester. Winchester Main Street is our hometown hero of the month. I'm going to have you talk about Throwaway Thursdays. That's another nugget on the list here. What's that all about?
Yeah, that is a newer effort that we have started. Yep. We're encouraging our downtown businesses on the third Thursday to kind of come out on their lunch break and just take a few minutes and pick up around their business. I mean, everybody takes pride in our community, and this is just a little bit extra, you know what I mean, to get outside, and in this nice spring weather, it's an excuse to get outside, and we're going to give our businesses things to pick up the trash and just be a part of it.
We call this program here on WMUN the Hometown Hero of the Month, but you also use those same words, hometown heroes. I think there's a banner connotation. Tell us what that's all about and how it works.
Yes, the Hometown Heroes Project is a very special project to us. we give the community members that have had family members serve in the armed forces an opportunity to put their picture on a banner, and we hang them all over the town, and that continues to grow. We have more and more going up and being on order all the time, and we really like to honor those veterans.
How do they get on one of those banners? Do they call Winchester Main Street, or how does that process work to be considered to be on one of those hero banners?
Yeah, so they just get a hold of Winchester Main Street. We have several board members that are available, or they can shoot us an email or send us a Facebook message, and we would always be happy to help them out.
All right, Winchester Main Street, our hometown hero of the month. Jen, how long have you been serving in the capacity, with the group here, and why do you do the work? Because it's extra work for you to serve in this way. Well,
I think I'm going on 5 years. I don't 100% know, but it, as a downtown business owner too, and a transplant back to my husband grew up there, and I'm a transplant. I just love our small town, and I love seeing it thrive, and it's just such a beautiful downtown. I see it every day out of my window. Yeah. I love our downtown, and I wanted to get involved, and this seemed like a perfect way. It's just to bring other people to experience our downtown. And to the president, same question. How long have you been serving on the group, and what's your heart for all this work?
Yeah, so I was trying to remember how long I've been on the board. I think it's right around 6 years.
Okay.
And, I joined, I'm a realtor. That's what pays the bills.
Sure.
This is a project out of love for our community and our people in the community. I really enjoy bringing people together and offering all these experiences in our hometown.
Well, congratulations on behalf of Wolf Boom Radio Group and WMUN as being the benefactor of the Hometown Hero of the Month. The interview we're doing now is obviously live on the radio. We'll be uploading that to our YouTube page later. You both did outstanding TV smiling the entire time, by the way. I got to be honest with you. They're professionals. They've done this sort of video thing before. Or have you? Yes?
No.
No. No. They did great. And we'll also be talking about you for the rest of the month. With all the great things that you've shared with us today and then some. So again, thank you for the great work you're doing for the people of your community and for East Central Indiana. That's why you're the Hometown Heroes of the Month. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Very much welcome. We'll continue with more in a moment. This is WMUN.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
You've probably heard all those ads for life insurance. Just a few dollars a day, apply online in minutes, no medical exam. Simple, easy, and cheap, right? Now you're thinking, maybe I should get a quote. Well, smart thinking. Everyone should have life insurance. But here's what they don't tell you. Those few dollars a day rates, they're for young people in perfect health. That's why everyone calls Big Lou the 50 to 60-year-old not-so-perfect candidate. Like you. You take prescription meds and you're overweight. Winner, fried chicken dinner. Well, Big Lou works with life insurance companies that want people like you with no surprises after you apply. In fact, if you're a 50-year-old guy with a few health glitches, Lou could probably find you $1 million of term life coverage for about $200 a month. So yeah, you need life insurance. But unless you're young and healthy, you gotta call Big Lou because he's like you, older, heavier, and on meds too. Get a quote right now at 800-471-9773, 800-471-9773, or biglou.com.
Want to hear more? Replays uploaded daily on WMUNmuncie.com. Now back to Delaware County Today with Steve Lindell, presented by Muncie Community Schools.
To my friends at Coffee with Bill, Ed Knatzer et al., I will be attending your event today. I will be arriving a little late. Ed, if you could do me a favor, don't make a big deal when I walk in. Sometimes I just want to be part of the group. I just want to learn about everybody that's there and hear the great stories. That's another really hashtag good news sort of an event. These people come together from all sorts of business and community and political and other walks of life. And they share, and they have a cup of coffee every Friday morning. And it's been a while since I was able to attend, and I'm pleased that I'll be able to get there today. Bottom of hour is when our local news summary will hit. We're at 8:21 right now. This Good Friday morning, it's April the 3rd, Easter weekend. I'm being a little redundant because Tushar is going to say some of this in just a moment. Let's get a snapshot of our day today.
It's April 3rd, and this is your Fox Daily Snapshot. Today is World Party Day. Pretty self-explanatory. It originated from a book called Flight, a quantum fiction novel that, you guessed it, ends with a big party. Also on this day, the Unabomber was arrested in 1996. Ted Kaczynski, a mathematician with anarchist ideas, was responsible for killing 3 people and injuring more than 20 others with letter bombs between the late 70s and mid-90s. In 1984, the NCAA saw its first ever African-American coach winning the tournament, Coach John Thompson of Georgetown University. The cell phone became a reality in 1973, a Motorola engineer making the first handheld cellular phone call from 6th Avenue, New York City. He called a rival to say Motorola had created a portable, functioning phone. In 1882, Bob Ford killed the American outlaw Jesse James by shooting him in the back. I'm CJ Papa. That's your Fox Daily Snapshot.
On WMUN 92.5 FM, 1340 AM, and all the rest. Hold on, I'm going to click on the screen here and see who's listening out there. I see Sister Sherry, left coast. Hi, Sister. Mama in Minnesota, it was great to talk to you yesterday. Got to talk to Roger, too. It was a double win day. I see Los Angeles listening. Is that the retired CPA friend of mine? Could be anybody, I suppose. And there is a bunch of listeners, Chicagoland and the upper Midwest. And there were some listeners overseas. I think that was on the continent of Africa that I saw a listening device just a little while ago. We're worldwide, but we're focused on Delaware County, Indiana. We're live from 8 to 9 a.m. every day on WMUN. The place for Ball State baseball, too, of course. Made possible by AutomaticPoolCovers.com. Mike Shebeck, the namesake of Shebeck Stadium, was kind enough to send me a quick note yesterday replying to a thank you that I sent to him for being a supporter and sponsor of the baseball coverage here on WMUN. And I know that Ball State is very thankful for him and people like him and so many others. On the subject of Ball State, I'm going to get to volleyball in just a second. Please stand by for that news. Next item, though, on our run list, how was Senate Majority Leader John Thune able to get senators to approve of a DHS funding bill in the dead of the night last week?
I'm Chad Pergram with the Speaker's Lobby. The Senate recently passed a bill to fund most of the Department of Homeland Security except ICE and Border Protection. In fact, the Senate passed the bill at 2:19 a.m. last Friday via voice vote with only 5 senators in the chamber. No roll call vote, but all 100 senators green-lighted the dead-of-night maneuver. Senate Majority Leader John Thune worked with senators from both sides not to get them to favor the bill, but coax them not to oppose it. Thune then ran what's called a hotline in the Senate. The leader sends a message to the offices of all 100 senators asking if anyone objects to a given proposal. No lawmakers lodged any reservations, so Thune put the measure on the floor, and it passed without anyone yelling nay. So this wasn't something the Senate snuck by in the dead of night. Everyone knew exactly what he was doing. No Republicans flagged the plan. But by daybreak, GOP Senator Rick Scott of Florida and Utah's Mike Lee said they opposed the plan, but they never raised any objections in the dead of night when they had the chance. With the Speaker's Lobby, Chad Pergram, Fox News.
WMUN, an affiliate of Fox News Radio, updates, newscasts right around the top of the hour, every day, including weekdays and weekends, because news happens all the time, and there is a lot to keep track of. We are inside Studio B for WMUN's Delaware County today. I have information, I have news, I have sports news right now about Ball State athletics and specifically the men's Cardinal team. It was a dominant win. A 3-set sweep of Northern Kentucky last night. Ball State Daily News had the coverage. 21-3 on the season now, the Ball State men's volleyball team. And the next game, there's a bit of a break now. The next match for Ball State will be against Lewis on April 9. Then there is an April 11 at 4 p.m. That's the last regular season home match at Worthen Arena. They call it Senior Day. And then April 18th is when they'll start the conference tournament. Again, that is as far as making a date saver on your calendar, Worthen Arena on April 9. I think that's 7 p.m. April 11 is Senior Day, 4 p.m. that day from my notes, again at Worthen Arena. And then April 18th starts the conference tournament for the MEVA. And we wish the Cardinal volleyballers the best of luck as they continue to drive forward. WMUN's Delaware County today, people are talking about this one too. The story of another singer in our health news.
This is House Call for Health. Actress and singer Selena Gomez recently speaking out about her mental health again following her diagnosis with bipolar disorder, a diagnosis she originally announced in 2020. The National Institute of Mental Health says bipolar disorder is characterized by dramatic shifts in mood, activity levels, and energy that impact a person's ability to carry out day-to-day tasks. And those ups and downs can be severe. The National Alliance on Mental Illness says there are treatments that can help with the mood swings and other symptoms, including psychotherapy and medications. Some common ones include lithium for stabilizing mood. Anticonvulsants can do the same thing, although some side effects are possible, such as gaining weight, drowsiness, or even blood disorders or liver problems. And depending on the type of bipolar disorder, it may take time to discover the best medicine. For more health news, go to foxnewshealth.com. House Call for Health, I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News.
WMUN, before the end of the hour, we call it the coolest theme music in the business. That's not right now, but it is before the end of the hour. And our local news summary is getting closer. In fact, it's just a couple of moments away. Steve Lindell live in Studio B for WMUN and the Wolf Boom Radio Group. We're starting at 67 degrees this Good Friday morning. We'll end up at 77 this afternoon. And WMUN meteorologist Paul Poteet is talking about the possibility of some thunderstorms. I think he said a 1 out of 5 risk level as we sit here this morning. That could change. We will be watching it for you today, tonight, and all through the Easter weekend. Stand by, more coming in just a moment. This is Delaware County Today on WMUN.
Every hour of every day, Fox News Radio is there with the latest breaking news and information you rely on.
This is a Fox News Alert.
I'm Lisa Brady.
I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
With Fox News correspondents around the globe.
At the White House.
Simon Owen in London.
On Capitol Hill, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
The news that matters most to you. The top headlines, all in one place. America is listening to Fox News Radio.
Updates hourly on the Talk of Muncie, the new WMUN.
We know to contact Indiana 811 at least 2 working days before every dig. But did you know spraying a white line around your digging area means utility flags will be placed only in that area? Fewer flags in the yard? Easier mowing? Everybody wins.
Except for my kid.
I don't want to mow the yard.
Contact Indiana 811 and white line before every project. It's the only way to dig. Learn more at 811.safedigindiana.com.
Sponsored by the Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission and aired by this station.
Guys, if you want the greatest night of your life, I mean your best night ever, then you gotta hear this. There's a great ED pill out, and it's from the makers of Viagra. It's their ED pill called Viagra AGV, and it's unbelievable. It works super fast in as little as 12 minutes and lasts up to 12 hours. Plus, it's FDA approved and safe. You need to try it for yourself. It's unreal what it does to you. Viagra AGV crushes every other ED pill, and it's endorsed by the head of urology at the prestigious Cedars-Sinai Hospital in Beverly Hills, Dr. Dudley Danoff. Every man alive needs to try this amazing, remarkable Viagra AGV pill at least once. It's beyond belief. Then you'll know why men are going crazy over it. So if you want to have the most incredible night of your life, you can't miss this. Go to scoreblue.com and try it while supplies last. Go to scoreblue.com, scoreblue.com. That's scoreblue.com. Viagra AGV is available only at scoreblue.com by prescription, no doctor visit.
Drowning in IRS debt? If you can't afford to pay your IRS debt due to economic hardship, you can now be free of IRS collection efforts by taking advantage of a special IRS tax hardship program. This program allows Americans who owe the IRS to resolve their delinquent tax debt once and for all. In some cases, maybe even reducing what you owe significantly. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Simply dial 800-256-3024. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back or have years of unfiled tax returns, help is standing by. Just call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-256-3024 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. That's 800-256-3024 to see if you qualify. That's 800-256-3024.
Live, weekdays from 8 to 9 a.m. with replays later. This is the Daily Delaware County Today with Steve Lindell.
That is the voice of Tom Campbell on WMUN. We hope that he and his family has a great Easter weekend, too. He's probably listening right now. Let's just zoom around here and see who's got us on. Los Angeles, there's Minnesota Mama, Chicagoland. I see you on the screen. I can't even zoom in. You know, can I do that? Hold on one second. Let me see if I can multitask right now. Hold on. If I go over here, you see my mouse moving around? If you are watching, oh, look at that. I learned something new. So I go here and click, and I see there's Louisville, Kentucky. Here's Mitchell, Indiana. And here is near Muncie, Indiana. Here's Indianapolis, and I think it's actually a Fisher's locale there. Oh, I didn't show you the IP addresses, though, because that shows up on the screen, too. I don't even know what that does for me or not for me. Security issues notwithstanding, we're glad that you're listening wherever you are. We are inside Studio B here at WMUN for Delaware County Today. We are up now to our regular recurring feature called the Local News Summary. These stories and more airing on all of our stations in East Central Indiana, and now for you listening on WMUN. Ever wonder how the date for Easter is calculated every year?
The simple formula is we take the first day of spring equinox, which is always March 20th, go to the next full moon, the Sunday after is Easter Sunday.
The backyard astronomer Gary Boyle replayed the full interview at WMUNmuncie.com.
During her 14 months as Attorney General, Pam Bondi faced criticism from both parties over the Justice Department's release of Jeffrey Epstein-related files and investigations of perceived political enemies of President Trump. The president says Bondi is a great American patriot and loyal friend, crediting her with a drop in crime and murder rates across the country. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche will serve as acting AG until a new nominee is confirmed. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
The Delaware Country Club has worked in partnership with Ball State's golf programs to upgrade the facilities for student athletes. VSU President Jeffrey Mearns shared some info on Delaware County Today.
I think there'll be more locker space for our student athletes, both men's and women. There'll be areas for nutrition where they'll be able to have meals. I think there's a couple of television sets. I think there are roster boards where they can plan for the upcoming round. So grateful for their support.
Gas prices appear to be headed for another increase in Indiana.
Demand is going up and refineries are doing their seasonal maintenance. Gas Buddy's head of petroleum analysis, Patrick DeHaan, says the rollout of summer gasoline is essentially complete.
We're likely right on the cusp of seeing another price cycle.
John Herrick, Network Indiana.
Final Four fans could be hard-pressed getting to Lucas Oil Stadium this weekend.
Driving in downtown Indy won't be easy, especially coming in from the south side. I-65 from I-465 to downtown is under construction, and so is the reroute Madison Avenue. It's being worked on from 465 to downtown. Drivers may consider West Street instead. If you come in on I-70 on the south end, watch out for the Illinois Street closure just east of Lucas Oil Stadium. You can slide over to Missouri Street as a reroute. That'll put you on the west side of Lucas Oil.
That's Network Indiana's Matt Baer. Anderson Mayor Thomas Broderick Jr. told the Herald Bulletin preliminary estimates project the city will lose $6.5 million in property tax replacement fund and $5 million in public safety local income tax in 2029 as a result of the state property tax bill adopted in 2025. Governor Mike Braun signed 2 bills Wednesday he says will better protect kids online.
These 2 new laws raise the penalty on child predators who exploit children with child sex abuse material, and this empowers parents more so than ever before.
One of the things they do is require social media platforms to obtain verifiable parental consent for accounts involving any Indiana user under the age of 16. These laws were written with Haley Busby in mind. She was a 17-year-old girl from Fishers who was found dead shortly after meeting a man that she played games with online. Reporting from the State House, John Herrick, Network Indiana.
Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber, arrested April 3rd, 1996, following a tip to the FBI from Kaczynski's own brother David, who recognized the Unabomber's own writings, ending a 17-year bombing campaign against airlines and universities and others that killed 3 people and injured 23. He died by suicide almost 3 years ago at the age of 81 at a federal prison in North Carolina. Jeff Manasso, Fox News.
Madison County Sheriff candidate Norman Rayford told Anderson Talks he had bipartisan encouragement to throw his hat into the crowded primary race. He's the current assistant chief for the Anderson Police.
Want to really improve the relationship between the Madison County and the municipal departments throughout our county.
Downtown is concert central when the Final Four is in town.
If you're coming in from the north side, remember, Meridian Street and Pennsylvania Street are closed north of Monument Circle, and those heavily used eastbound, westbound one-ways, New York Street and Michigan Street, will also be shut down around the American Legion Mall, where the concerts are happening. In fact, expect gridlock conditions in parts of downtown. It will be undrivable in spots.
That's Network Indiana's Matt Baer. Muncie Burris 5th grader Karini Lyons is competing for the title America's Most Artistic Kid. The winner of the national contest presented by Bob Ross Incorporated will appear on a special episode of The Joy of Painting and receive $20,000. Public voting for the semifinals ends April 9. There's a link on our news page today. An Indiana State Police trooper is being called a hero
after saving the life of an 82-year-old woman on I-70 in Indianapolis. Authorities say the woman experienced a medical emergency while on the highway and became unresponsive. The trooper arrived on the scene and immediately began CPR, continuing chest compressions for nearly 10 minutes. Emergency crews later took over care and the woman regained a pulse before being transported to the hospital. Renuka Bachpai, Network, Indiana.
The East Madison Fire Territory has earned a Class 2 ISO rating, improving from Class 3 effective July 1. PIO Todd Harmison told the Anderson Journal Morning Show why that's important to residents in the territory.
That is what is used by insurance organizations to help establish insurance rates for homeowners and for renters. And so that's very important to us. We're very proud of that.
They've cracked the code. Egg prices are down 60% from last year's record highs, making it easier for Americans to fill their Easter baskets and Passover Seder plates. Bird flu was to blame for higher prices last year, with many farmers forced to destroy their hen flocks. The Trump administration also imported nearly 1 billion eggs last year to help drive prices down. Tom Rigotti, Fox News.
More local every day on our free wolfboomnews.com. From Studio B, this is Delaware County Today on WMUN, the talk radio of Muncie. We have news talk and sports talk and community talk. Our Saturday morning talk block begins with the Page Turners program. That one's at 7 a.m. tomorrow and every Saturday. Mom, hi Mama, loves books. Maybe you would love hearing about books on radio. 7 a.m., same command on your smart speaker there. 8 a.m., it's Ken Hudson and the Leadership Blueprint. Another new episode tomorrow morning. And then at 9 a.m., I'm back with the weekly This Week in Delaware County, part of our weekend lineup here on WMUN. It is 8:40 on this Easter weekend. It's maybe one of those things where you have some thankfulness. I hope you have some good things to think about. I am thankful for our staff of incredible people. I'm talking about Jared Boomer and Kim Morris and Gary Joseph. I'm talking about Brian Casey and Jay Garrison, Zach Johnson, George Bremer, and there's Mitch Hank, and there's Ryan and Jackson and Aiden, and I hope I'm not missing anybody or many of the incredible people that are on the front lines at our radio group. 6 formats, 1 mission. We use our voice to build and connect our community. Woke up this morning, and every day I do what we call in the business show prep. It's preparation for the show. Really complicated stuff. And one of my main resources every single day is our free MuncieJournal.com. And I want to share with you right now a portion of something that is top center right there, entitled The Hope of Easter. I thought it was very telling, especially with the world that we live in right now, and obviously headed into the weekend that we are. This was originally published March 30 of 2018, written by Paul Ward. Do you ever feel like all hope is lost? The evening news, you see violence and arguments. No one seems to offer any real change. No one offers any real hope. The author writes, during World War II, an Austrian psychiatrist named Viktor Frankl was sentenced to the Auschwitz concentration camp. While he was in the midst of the pure misery there, he noticed that his fellow prisoners had different reactions to their circumstances. They were all exposed to the same levels of torment and trauma, yet some of them seemed to waste away and die, yet others continued to press on and live. The author continues, what seemed to stand out to Frankl was a sense of hope. He continues, I can imagine that the earliest followers of Jesus of Nazareth had a similar loss of hope. Even those who were supposed to be religious leaders had turned out to be hypocrites. The author wrote MuncieJournal.com article this morning that you can see in its entirety. Jesus began teaching something new. He was challenging those who had the responsibility to change things but failed to look past their own selfish interests. In the shadows, late one Thursday night, Jesus was arrested. The hope of the world was put on trial. By Friday afternoon, Jesus was hanging on a cross. As Viktor Frankl discovered, and maybe you've discovered in your own life, hope is never lost. Even in the deepest recesses of the most miserable prison camp on earth, hope lived in some cases there. Even when the very thing that you thought would save you looks dead, hope is still alive. Those who have hope continue. Those who find hope can thrive. Many people will have big family celebrations this Easter weekend. Kids will hunt for colorful eggs. A magic bunny will show up in many homes and drop off baskets of candy. People will buy new Easter outfits, and some will find their way sitting in a church sanctuary. The author continues, we need to find hope. We need to find purpose and meaning. With a new sense of hope, we can press on. We can thrive. That hope is found in Easter. The author continues and summarizes here, in the midst of a world full of bad news, don't lose hope in your own life. when trouble and trauma strike, don't lose hope. May this Easter be the time when you find that hope once again. The author of the article on our MuncieJournal.com, Paul Ward. You can read that in its entirety right there, right now, on MuncieJournal.com. At 8:44, we'll continue with more This Morning in just a moment on Delaware County Today from WMUN.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio. I'm Gary Dick. Oakland City University says nearly 170 employees could potentially be laid off as the school deals with, quote, ongoing financial challenges. The university filed a warrant notice with the state saying it could conduct a mass layoff beginning June 1. But spokesperson Todd Mosby tells Inside Indiana Business it is a precautionary measure. Agronovus Indiana has released new research identifying critical challenges in the state's ag bioscience sector. The study, conducted by Washington, D.C.-based AeroPoint Labs, outlines ongoing issues, including farm data management, regulatory complexity, and the need to better connect food production with health outcomes. After more than 3 years of planning, Louisville-based Denton Floyd Real Estate Group has broken ground on a mixed-use development in Clarksville. The George will include 192 luxury apartments and more than 10,000 square feet of retail space. You're listening to Inside Indiana Business Radio.
We build Indiana. The Laborers International Union of North America builds and maintains roads, bridges, and other essential infrastructure that make us the crossroads of America. So thanks to LIUNA members' work, Hoosiers have a better quality of life, like access to utilities, easier routes to jobs, schools, or medical care, and deliveries keep moving. We build Indiana for good jobs and stronger communities. The Laborers International Union of North America. We are LIUNA.
Indiana University is shaping the future of healthcare with Hoosiers in mind. Advancing discoveries that become treatments for Alzheimer's, obesity, cancer, and rare diseases, and training the providers trusted to deliver them. From the lab to your local clinic, IU powers medical breakthroughs and the talent behind them. Discover how IU is solving what's next at iu.edu/impact.
Hello, this is Bill Mosley, and you're listening to Page Turners.
Hi, I'm Evelyn Skye, the author of Damsel, and you're listening to Page Turners.
Tommy Henriksen here, and you're listening to the Page Turners. Yes.
Hey, I'm Anna Cara, and you're listening to the Page Turners.
Hi, I'm Cam Scott, one of the creators of Star Wars The High Republic, and you're listening to Page Turners.
Hey everybody, this is Daniel Catullo, the director of the upcoming Hollywood Vampires film Unleashed Spirits, and you're listening to Page Turners.
This is Jamie Lynn Ryan, writer, photographer, wanderer, and you're listening to Page Turners.
I'm Jamie Sandberg. I'm the author of Total Solar Eclipse, A Stellar Friendship Story. You're listening to Page Turners.
Hello, I'm Kevin McNally, actor and writer. You are listening to Page Turners.
I'm Sawyer Green, and you are listening to Page Turners.
I'm Emma Humphrey, author of Heart in Your Hands, and you're listening to Page Turners.
Join Cam and TC every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. for WMUN's Page Turners. Listen to Delaware County Today on Alexa. Just enable the skill, then say, Alexa, play WMUN. Now back to Steve Lindell.
I do have confirmation that Tom Campbell is listening and is searching for chocolate bunnies. I added the last part. We're on 92.5 FM, 1340 AM, and that article I referenced earlier from our free MuncieJournal.com, visible now on the screen for you YouTube watchers. The YouTube channel is called Wolf Boom Studio B. Go ahead and follow that and get a lot of extra content. You can see what we're talking about, which I think is fascinating as well. You just heard about Page Turners a minute ago. Brett Hellings is the guest this Saturday, tomorrow morning. That is 7 a.m. Broadcast time on radio. New York and Hollywood rocker stops by to chat with TC about his story and his approach to writing music. Isn't that interesting? That is 7 to 8 a.m. on Page Turners, the Broadcast Book Club, here on WMUN. All right, next item this morning, coolest theme music in the business.
Fox Facts.
You've no doubt heard the phrase close but no cigar, a familiar way to say someone almost succeeded but just missed the mark. The saying goes back to early 20th century American carnivals where cigars were a popular prize for winning games. If a player just barely missed knocking down the bottles or hitting the target, a carnival barker might call out close but no cigar. It was a quick, playful way of saying nice try, but not enough to win. Cigars made great prizes because they were inexpensive, popular, and easy for operators to hand out. The phrase showed up in print by the late 1920s, including a 1929 Long Island newspaper headline about a candidate who finished second twice. The saying soon caught on, boosted by radio shows and movies. So the next time you fall just short of a goal and walk away empty-handed, you'll think of that famous phrase shouted at carnivals many years ago. Matt Murphy, Fox News.
WMUN still proud to be a Pacers station. You got a game today, 6:30 p.m., Sunday, 5:30 p.m., and the season is winding down. You knew that already. New releases are being made available for viewing in theaters and on Hulu.
Fox on Film.
I'm Michelle Polino.
We got to get everyone out of here.
An all-star cast brings the Super Mario Bros. Galaxy movie to life in theaters. Mario and Luigi now face a fresh threat in Bowser Jr., who's determined to liberate his father from captivity and restore the family legacy alongside companions new adult. The brothers travel across the stars to stop the young heir's crusade. In fantasy life, after losing his paralegal job, an anxious New Yorker begins nannying his psychiatrist grandchildren. During a summer on Martha's Vineyard, he falls for their mother, played by Amanda Peet. Streaming on Hulu, Pizza Movie, starring Stranger Things' Gaten Matarazzo as a reckless college student alongside his shy roommate, who set out on a simple mission to grab pizza, but after a strange dose of a mind-bending experimental drug, they're thrust into a chaotic night of absurd encounters, wild hallucinations, and unexpected revelations. That's Fox on Film on Fox News.
Fox News Radio affiliate updates all weekend long, right around the top of the hour. Next item, let's go racing.
Fox in the Fast Lane.
The NASCAR Cup Series returned to Martinsville Speedway for the Cookout 400. Tyler Reddick was looking to win his 5th race of the season, but it did not happen. Instead, the sport's most popular driver did. Chase Elliott holding off Denny Hamlin, who led for most of the race, and taking the checkered flag for his 2nd career win at the short track.
How about that? That was awesome, man. We've never had a win this early in the season, so just a really great team effort, man.
Audio courtesy of FS1. The win for Elliott moves him up in the Fox Sports NASCAR Power Rankings. Tyler Reddick still leads the pack, with Hamlin right behind him in 2nd, followed by Ryan Blaney in 3rd, Elliott in 4th, and Ty Gibbs in 5th. The Cup Series heads to Bristol Motor Speedway next Sunday for the Food City 500. You can catch all the action on FS1. For Fox in the Fast Lane, Tony Genualdo, Fox News.
And WMUN, final item for today from the 2019 archives, but still a sweet story.
The Dean's List with Janice Dean.
A wonderful bus driver who decorated her school bus for one of her students makes the Dean's List. Arletha Sherman of Jacksonville, Florida, decorated her bus in honor of Anna Hobson's 5th birthday. She says she touched her heart. She never complains and has the most beautiful smile. It inspired her to do something for the young girl. Anna is a pre-kindergarten student and has a progressive neuromuscular disorder, which causes nerve damage mostly in the arms and legs. Mom Kathleen says her daughter has been using a wheelchair for the last 6 months and rides Miss Sherman's wheelchair-accessible bus. She says Arletha is an excellent bus driver and a very caring person. She loves all the kids that she drives and always goes above and beyond the call of duty to make them feel safe and happy. Arletha hopes Anna's story encourages other bus drivers to spread kindness to children. We love this story, and you, Arletha Sherman. And by the way, happy birthday, Anna. Janice Dean, Fox News.
Little belated birthday there from the archives, but thank you, Janice, and we thank you for listening. This is Delaware County Today. We're live 8 to 9 a.m. weekdays. Monday, right after my program, it's the 765 Business Journal show. Lefay Pegues is the host. And then at 9:30, it's all kinds of people. The guest will be Mark Canada of Dr. Joe Mashevitz. That is our Monday plan. Have a great Easter weekend. For Jackson Jacoby, my producer in the Axia Command Center, I'm Steve Lindell from Studio B again this morning with Delaware County Today on WMUN.